All right. Hello. Hello. I think it's working. All right, it is working. All right. I'm pretty I know y'all tired of this election shit. I'm tired of it, but the reason I'm tired of it is because nobody seems to really understand what just happened. Because of my racism. Nobody really is looking at the big picture. Um, and to be honest with you, this whole election thing just basically it cleared it up for me. If I was unsure before, or if anybody was unsure before, I mean, at this point, you have to recognize that like almost 100% of the manosphere is on some pro black shit, and not like the good kind of pro black. I mean the bullshit kind of pro black, the pro welfare pro black. Um, so okay, I'll put it this way: like I'm libertarian, but I'm not libertarian in the fucking manosphere sense. The manosphere libertarian is like niggas who claim libertarian and don't know what it means. That's not what I am. Freedom first, candidate notwithstanding. Uh, Libertarian in the actual sense, meaning like the Republic of the United States means the Republic of the United States. It means it's governed by the people and the representatives thereof. Again, I am freedom first, a nationalist. Everything else comes after that. So, for instance, I think about shit like, what is the foreign equivalent of the manosphere? I mean, sure, a lot of foreigners come to this space. A lot of foreigners come to this manosphere, both the general or white manosphere, as niggas like to call it, or even the black sectors. But where is their equivalent? Where's the foreign people's equivalent to the manosphere? Anybody. And I think about shit like, who is the foreign equivalent to DJ Khaled? Is there a DJ Khaled that's a nigga in a different country? Is there a DJ Vlad in a different country that is a black person? The Jabberwockies? There any black dancers in another country? No, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying? So while your culture gets raped the fuck out and all this other shit, all you see is people taking your shit, but you're not doing nothing about it because you want access to their hoes. I'm not saying you is like people in the chat. I'm talking about you, the royal use of the word, meaning like in general people. So niggas will allow access by any other race to do whatever the fuck it is they do, and excel at it for novelty's sake. Like for instance, we can look at something real trivial, like the white girl that won the twerk contest and she wasn't really doing shit. She won on the basis of just being white. Or we can just look at Eminem. Sure, he can rap, but there was like during his time in his prime, there was like at least 12 rappers you could name that were better than him, technically even, bar for bar. But on the novelty of just being white, he sold like a ton of records. You want to know who was Eminem 1.0? And I'm not just talking out of my ass. Eminem 1.0 was Vanilla Ice. This nigga was barless. He had no bars, but he went diamond. In fact, he went 5 million over diamond on a debut album. You understand? A debut album. He went diamond. He went 15 fucking millions. 15 million. Record sold out the fucking gate. Vanilla Ice. That was the first Vanilla Ice. I'm talking about like record sales and everything. This nigga was barless, and he, again, just novelty of being white. All he had to do was keep up with whatever competition was there at the time, and that was it. Because back in the day, there were bars when MC Hammer was around, because MC Hammer actually brought Vanilla Ice into the mainstream. But you couldn't name a ton of rappers that was really like technical. I mean, technical bars wasn't really like the thing back then. The only dudes doing technical bars back then was like Big Daddy Kane. The white dudes that was doing it was like Third Base, maybe, and a few other people. But he didn't really have. Again, his success was based on the novelty of being white, just like a lot of other things. the point is your culture is raped. The culture is escapism anyway, but the culture is being raped by everybody else, but you can't do the same shit in their cultures. This is pretty much what this shit is all about. As far as like all of the black people running around talking about blackity black shit, because this seems to be the theme, more racism. And the thing is, both candidates don't fucking like you. Neither candidate gives a fuck about you. In fact, the blue candidate was more overt about his racism. Matter of fact, he put his racism into legal action. So there you go. It's just, I don't know, it's just funny to me. Anyway, so one of the things we do is we look at all of these statistics, right? Everybody is all about the fucking statistics. None of these niggas really care about statistics. They just pull up statistics when it's convenient. They go to blackstatistics.com or wherever the fuck they go to and look for the most convenient statistics to support their argument. They don't look up any other statistics that comes from like other sources or try to put more objectivity to the stats that they bring out. However, what we have done in the manosphere is come up with a consensus of a bunch of different statistics over a number of years, because you have the first group of people who get stats that only go with their point of view, and then you get a second set of people who are challenging those statistics with another set of statistics, but then those statistics kind of blend into each other and you get a full picture. But you know how fucking long it took? Like almost a decade for niggas to figure out a few fucking, it took a decade for niggas to figure out some shit that could have been figured out in an hour or even sooner if they'd have just looked at stats for what they are, mathematical analysis. That's the thing. So what's really puzzling to me is that the same people that understand how destructive the welfare state is and how welfare destroys families in favor of single motherhood and more feminism and more communism, and consequently a new generation of even more welfare dependent people because they were raised by welfare dependent women. These same people seem to not be able to understand the ramifications of even more welfare further destroying everything else. This fucking hilarious. So I'm just gonna pull up a couple of fucking statistics in chart form, because all of the detractors watching this shit who don't do math need visual aids. This is how this shit works. And this is consensus data. I'm not even bringing up anything new. This is old shit. This is really old shit. So welfare state, there was a president who came in after JFK got shot. His name was Lyndon B. Johnson. This dude basically started what was called the war on poverty, right? So the war on poverty was basically give people who need welfare in order to even the playing field, so to speak. He had to do it because the civil rights movement was in full swing, and there was riots all over the place, and white people started to join in. So once white people started to get on board with niggas, you got to do something about it. That's pretty much the bottom line. Let niggas tell it. They'll talk about all of the MLK, all the other shit, and go into all this dumbass nuance that don't really mean anything. The bottom line is, once white people started siding with niggas during civil rights shit, the government had to do something about it. That's what happened. That's the bottom line. You go back and research this shit if you want to. Everything you're going to come to is you're going to conclude that the reason they had to do something about it is because white people started to side with niggas in like the general populace. That's what the fuck happened. So when we got welfare handed to us, it came with stipulations. One of the stipulations is, you got to understand there's a lot of things at play. Here's a nuance that's a big ass nuance that's not really a nuance. Feminism is not a nuance. Feminism was there the whole time. So the welfare that got handed to people just got co-opted by feminism. For instance, education. This was the war on poverty was also called the Great State or something like that. The Great State. Fuck, I forget anyway, it was called like the Great State or some shit like that. I gotta look it up again, but that's what it's called. So no, the Great Society, my bad, the Great Society. So the Great Society, or the War on Poverty, started around 1964. That's when all the welfare laws got put into action. And what those welfare laws pointed at specifically was education. So they need to get into schools. And that's when feminism took over the fucking education industry. Medical is why majority of women are doctors. Housing is why bitches get free houses. Monthly stipends, the welfare check. Transportation, labor, just to name a few. This is what happened. Like you get welfare for all this shit. Now look at this trend line, right? 1950, we kind of have like a flat line, basically. We get to 1964, and the welfare spending starts to go the fuck up. You see that? See that line? It goes the fuck up. The more money we spend on welfare, let's look at the fucking single mother chart. Okay? So around 1964, around the same time, the single motherhood starts to go the fuck up. 7, 11, 16, 21. So we start going up in single motherhood rates, correlated by more welfare money. Wanna know why? Because bitches don't need you if they get free money. So this destroyed the family, not just the black family, all families. All families. Black families more so, because there's not a lot of us. We're 14% of the population. So of course it's going to be more destructive to us, because we don't have a lot of people to fucking begin with. So I'm rehashing old information, but these stats are literally true, and everyone can come to consensus agreement on this shit. I don't expect anyone to go back through a bunch of videos and listen to all these niggas argue about this shit for years and years and years. But if you've been around here in recent conversations over the last maybe even 6 months, you understand that the consensus is that this is what the fuck happened. We all understand this. We all know this. These are statistics. Trend lines are trend lines for a reason, because things happen. What happened was money started being given to women. Women started to not need men, and then the single motherhood rate went up. That's really, really easy to understand. And again, it took niggas almost 10 years to figure this out, arguing about it. But now this is consensus knowledge. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. So now we can move on to fucking math. So during the election, we had a lot of things happen, right? One of the things we had happen was on election day, we had a vote dump in 2 states, a literal vote dump. Now, I'm not even gonna go any further with we're talking about. I'm just gonna pull the fucking charts over here. So here's a chart of the vote dump in Wisconsin. And again, Google is working to get rid of all of this shit. So at some point, these charts are not going to be available to anybody. I just downloaded them and saved them because there were a bunch of people who wrote algorithms to keep track of the election while it was happening in real time. So while the election was happening in real time, this is what the fuck happened during the morning of the next day. The next day, this happened. In Wisconsin, okay, votes come in, votes get tallied first day, blah, 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 blah. Look at the trend line. This is like the first wave of votes. It starts to taper off when all of the votes are coming in on the first wave. Now this trend line in normal statistical fucking every election ever, the trend line, it tapers off, rounds out at the top, and then goes in a quasi straight line, maybe go up a little bit. Now what happens is it goes up for both teams. This blue line shooting straight up on a second wave never fucking happens ever in history. Ever. It never happens. Ever. In 2 different states. This never happens. Period. Not only does it never happen, but the fact that did all these votes get counted simultaneously? 100,000 votes come in and they all just seem to get counted at the same time. Like, so people have to actually count these, because again, this second wave of votes, this vote dump was mail-in. So people have to physically count these. They have to dump them into machines or either verify them by hand. You're not going to get a straight line on that. You're going to get a gradual uptick. That's what you're going to get. If there's going to be any catching up, it's going to be over time, not a straight line. It doesn't fucking happen. It never happens. Again, this is what happened. Okay? You want to argue with somebody, go argue with Edison Research. Go talk to them. If you want to argue with me about this chart, go argue with Edison Research. I didn't make the chart. They are the ones with the algorithm that watch this shit in real time and got the data. They're the ones with the data. You want to argue with somebody, go argue with them. Otherwise, this is just math. I'm not pulling anything out of my ass. This is not emotional bullshit logic. This is what happened. In fact, you don't even have to go to talk to Edison. You can talk to your favorite news channels. They even said it was a mistake. Go talk to them. Now, this is funny. This is funny shit. Because what happens, there's a software company called Tyler Technologies. They have what's called the ballot software, tabulation software. They said that there was a glitch where over 6,000 votes in one machine was counted for the Democrats that were actually Republican. So real quick, all of the ballots are identical. I'm gonna repeat that. All of the ballots are identical. If anyone doesn't know how scanning software works or scanners work, does anyone have a scanner at home, like a scanning printer or whatever? You put a piece of paper in it, and it's gonna scan. It's gonna scan whatever the fuck you have in that piece of paper. Now, let's just say you have 100 same sheets of paper, and you have some software that's designed to just look for a black dot in a section, and you number these sections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it's looking for a black dot in one of 5 sections. If it's in section 1, the vote goes to candidate 1. If the black dot is in section 2, the vote goes to candidate 2. That's all the software is designed to do. That is a simplified version of an algorithm. That's it. So if votes are being scanned into a machine that's designed to just count dots in a section, there's no such thing as a computer glitch miscounting. No such thing. So earlier today, what they came out with was a different way of saying this, by saying, no, it wasn't a glitch, it was a hack. So this meant a human or a human created or a human created piece of software logged into the vote machines and changed the vote on purpose, with purpose. Now, that's enough itself to warrant a what is called a forensic recount. If anyone doesn't know what a forensic recount means, it means where law enforcement and people like fucking basically objective parties come through, government bodies that are you call nonpartisan or non-biased. They're going to come through, and a bunch of scientists and eggheads are going to run through all of that data and run that shit through a bunch of supercomputers that don't give a fuck about either candidate or however this shit plays out. Now, the problem with the forensic recount is that in a forensic recount, legal action has to be taken. And you have to understand at this point, legal ramifications are serious business. Like, we're at the point of no return. There's no coming back from this. There's no oops, my bad at this point. A forensic recount that would prove any type of fraudulence, heads are going to roll, literally. Jail time and capital punishment, because what happens is this warrants the big T word. And I think we know what I mean when I say the T word, the one where you do something that's against your country's national security. So once the big T word is involved, there's no going back from that shit. So I don't think this is going to go to a forensic recount. I actually don't think anything's going to happen. I think Biden's just going to keep his shit because the media is calling it. They don't have a right to do that, but the media is calling it. And they're basically saying, just take the L, let it go, and all the rest of that shit all over on TV, to the degree where they're just like letting them get all his victory speeches and shit out, even though it's being challenged with legal reply. So anyway, this same 6,000 vote error or glitch is also present in 47 other counties in Michigan, which would, if you do the math on 6,000 times 47, that's 282,000 votes, which would basically have Trump winning Michigan. And that's just math. That's just table napkin math. If you do 6,000 on average times other 47 counties, and there's possibly more counties, but these 47 counties that have been counted have already been known to use the same software, and they haven't been checked because the state is blocking it, which is illegal. So again, states are breaking all kinds of laws to keep this shit going. Now, again, this is illegal. It's not me saying this. This is the fucking law saying this. You want to know how I know? Let me just grab the fucking legal codes for you. Let me find the legal code real quick because I had the page up and I fucking left it there. Here we go. Here are the legal codes. To left column. These are basically legal code for poll watching and shit. So these legal, you know what? Let me just paste this in the chat. You can go look these legal codes up. If you look these legal codes up, you'll see that the state blocking this is fucking illegal. So again, I don't talk out of my ass when I do these streams. I'm actually doing the fucking research. I do the research. This is why I didn't do a stream on election day, because there was no way for me to keep up with the amount of bullshit that was happening. No fucking way. No fucking way. Because I don't like doing this emotional shit. And me getting into arguments with people about it would have just been filled with fucking emotion because they don't care about math. All these niggas care about is racism. That's all they care about. And they don't understand that welfare is racism. Welfare was put out there for the purpose of breaking up your fucking shit on some racism shit. So, again, the state's blocking it. The states are blocking it, which is illegal. 30 other states that we know of that was counted when I last did research, and probably more now. 30 other states are using the same ballot software with the same glitch. These states have yet to have the software checked. Nevada had 87 counties that use the same fucking software glitch. So what's 6,000 times 8? Or six times 8? That's 480,000 plus votes. It's like damn near 500,000 votes that was supposed to go to Team Red or whatever, or Team Non-Welfare. Because me, I don't give a fuck about the candidate. I care about welfare. I don't give a fuck the candidates. This is literally, the election was about welfare and economics. Every election is about economics. This one more so. So welfare won this election because remember what the candidates was running on, right? You have the platinum plan, which really wasn't even the fucking plan. It was a lie. He wasn't gonna give anybody shit. And then you got the fucking absurd name. I forget. We shall rise again fucking plan, or whatever the fuck Biden teams they called it. It was just welfare. And you remember when I went over both policies, what the plans were? Give bitches free everything. Free college, free housing, free education, free jobs, free everything. That's the plan. And this what motherfuckers don't understand. So again, I'm gonna repeat: the same people that understand how detrimental welfare was and is to Black people since the fucking since back when we were great. So welfare took down the Black people that were actually about shit. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about the golden age niggas, the golden age Black people, the Black people that you can't throw stones at because they was actually working and shit and trying to do the right thing. Those niggas got killed by welfare. Okay? So if them niggas got took down by welfare and you still on team welfare, something's fucking wrong with you. But these same people that fucking argue with you about all types of other shit but can't understand simple shit like that, even though they've come to the consensus that welfare is bad. More, please. Welfare is bad. More, please. Can I have more? Fucking stupid. So anyway, not a glitch. Backdoor hack allowing the ballots to be changed. Okay? And we got 30 other states doing the same shit. 30 states. Not only that, but each state is blocking having the ballots checked on both teams. Now, don't get me wrong. They're not being biased about it. They're blocking both teams because the fix is already in. They don't need to be on some shit where they only block team red. They block both teams to make it seem fair. But again, the fix is already in. It's not like blocking both teams doesn't mean shit. The cheating is already happening. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so because of this initial discrepancy, checking the software is actually legally mandated under federal law, if anyone knows this. However, if there's no problem and the count is correct, why would the votes change? That's a real question. That's a real question. If there's no problem and the count is correct, then why would the votes change under a forensic count? Why? You're still gonna win. If you're that fucking sure about your win, why would you not want a forensic count to take place? If you're that fucking sure about your win, because if I was sure that I was gonna win, like for instance, let's just say they wanted to fucking do a forensic account against Obama in 2008. Sure, go ahead. The nigga won overwhelmingly. Yeah, do a forensic count. It won't matter. Let's just say you want to do a forensic count in 2016. Sure, go ahead. Doesn't matter. We already knew what demographics was voting for him anyway. So go ahead and do a forensic recount. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have made a difference. Is this funny? So if we look at the Wisconsin map, one of the other things I want you guys to understand is that I did simple calculator math, right? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna pull a fucking calculator over here. So this is the first number is the number of people, voting eligible people that voted. So 3,283,006 people voted in Wisconsin. The population of voting eligible people that are voting eligible, meaning they registered and everything, was 3,684,726. If you divide the first by the second number, you get a staggering 89% turnout rate, which has never been done before. You want to know what's even more statistically anomalous and improbable? The fact that a 90% turnout took place in literally 30 plus states, not to mention 80% of the counties in those states. So what are the odds of a statistic anomaly happening? And then what are the odds of a consistent stream of statistical abnormalities happen or statistical improbabilities happening? First of all, one statistical improbability is enough. Two is just what the fuck. Three is impossible. 4, 5, 6. Now we're entering crazy land at this point. So here's two facts. The facts that you can go and research it. In fact, I'm gonna pull that shit over in a second too. I'm gonna pull my fucking calculator back over here, and let me just maybe I'll have to Google these. No, not Google them, but I have to add them to my Google Drive. But I went and got the data on actual voter turnout. So I went and got voter turnout information, which wasn't too difficult to find, but So let me just grab some voter turnout information real quick, because I still have it. I just gotta go grab it. I was doing a lot of research over this weekend because I don't want to argue for my ass. Voter turnouts. Oh, look at that. Where's my fucking page? Real quick. Sorry about this, y'all. I gotta grab the history. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Dingbat. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna pull this over here real quick. All right, so let me get back to where I was. So where was I? All right, two facts. Fact number one, there has never been a 90% voter turnout rate for any state at any time during an American election. Fact number two, there has never been a 90% voter turnout rate for the entire population. Now, another statistical abnormality or statistical improbability, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia. So instead of the vote dump that happened, so instead of doing this in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia, shit got on their face, okay? Because basically some overzealous voters did this. I don't think I don't think Team Blue wanted this to happen. They wanted a trickle. So this is what happened in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia. There were 4-to-1 mail-in votes awarded to Democrats, which is statistically impossible. After the first wave of votes, especially, because first of all, there's enough people to do that. Second of all, 75% of votes are not going to go to one team, no matter which side is popular. Even when Obama was at his most popular in 2008, he had the most people. He had the highest turnout of any president of any time in history, Obama. And even then, he didn't have a fucking 75% vote on one side. He didn't have 4-to-1. So, and you're going to argue with me that Biden is more popular than Obama? Get the fuck out of here. So even in the best case where the state flips blue, it's still not 75% one-sided. At best, it's 60-40, and I'll show you with the fucking voter turnout charts. Matter of fact, let's just do that right now. I got the spreadsheets for these, but if you really want to, we can just let's just do this. Let's do this. I will just paste this in the chat, and then you can just go check it out for yourself. Again, I just go get the math. I don't want to argue with niggas on their emotions. I'm going to get the math. Fuck them. So if you look, 2020s is still being worked out, so you're not going to get the complete picture there. Let's go back. Let's go all the way back to 2000. So in 2000, this general election, I was going to look at like my state. Let's just look at these numbers real quick. The average is around, if you average up all these numbers, you're going to get around like maybe 50%, 55 at most. Now, as you can see, the highest voter turnout is around like 70 something. So you got Alaska at 68% because, you know, they don't really have a large population. Minnesota, they turn out high, but at 70%. And this is in 2000. Now, after this, let's go straight to Obama's real quick. This is the election when Gore was running, and Gore was pretty popular at the time, but not as popular as Clinton. Let's go to Obama's general election. Let's see. Highest voter turnout so far that I can see is 71% with Colorado and Maine, 78% with Minnesota. Okay, that's close to 80. Now, again, if you average all of these out nationally, you're gonna come. And this is during Obama's presidency when all the niggas came out. So you're gonna get about 60% if you average all of these numbers out, because these high numbers are high numbers. Most of these numbers are in the 60s. So doing an average, you're gonna come out with around 60-some%. The high numbers don't reflect the average. Let's just put it that way. So here's Wisconsin during Obama's presidency, where all the niggas are. Wisconsin's Niggerville, especially Milwaukee, where Milwaukee County is where all the majority of those votes are tabulated. In fact, if you go look at an electoral map, you'll see that Wisconsin is where the majority of those votes were tabulated. So Wisconsin, even during Obama's presidency, was at 70-fucking-2%. Now, let's look at Michigan. 70%. Okay? 90% fucking voter turnout in Wisconsin. They have 90 in Michigan, but that even further proves my point. They didn't even have 90 in Michigan and still had that crazy ass lopsided numerical impossibility or mathematical impossibility. It's crazy. So again, look at these charts. Like, you go look at these charts if you want to. Let's look at voter turnout. The first time Trump went. No, let's look at no, fuck that. Let's look at when Trump ran against Hillary. Because we know Obama blasted Hillary because, again, he was the nigga president and all the niggas gonna vote for him. These actually have citations for the sites because these election results have citations. So these are actually super official. So again, let's look at the amount of people that voted. If you average this out, it's going to be in the 60s. We even have some 50s in there. We have some 70s, 72, 74. What's the highest so far? And this is okay. Now keep in mind, after Obama left office, look at how the numbers went down. It went right back to normal, right? Normal meaning all the other presidents' numbers. All the other presidents' numbers. So again, I'm just going by the math. Everybody else is going to go by the racism. I'm going by the math. Again, neither candidate gives a fuck about you. Neither candidate is on your side. There is no black agenda without black people leading it. The whole point of this shit is the welfare. And I'm just going to repeat one more time. The same people that understand how destructive welfare was in the first place don't seem to understand how this shit affects them. How fucking the welfare party will affect them in the future. And the shit baffles me. It's fucking dumb. So again, 99 to 100% of the motherfuckers in this sector are pro-black. And again, they are not the good kind of pro-black. These niggas just run around. They don't care about what they're talking about. They don't give a fuck about none of these issues they talk about. They're just about welfare and pussy. That's it. That is literally all. Anything these niggas try to tell you, do not believe them. Every time I do a stream, I go get the evidence and shit. If it's about something important and you get to see this shit for yourself, you can just go see it for yourself. These niggas is not what they say they're about. They are about welfare and pussy. These niggas don't care about none of this shit they talking about. None of it. You looking at the numbers right here. These niggas don't care about this shit. So anyway, shit averages goes back into the 60% average. So I'm just going to repeat the two facts I said before. There has never been a 90% voter turnout in any state. And there has never been a 90% voter turnout for the entire population. Even when Obama was at the height of his fucking glory. And he was the most voted for president in history. And we're going by population. And we're going by the fact that the population gets bigger over time and lazier over time. This nigga got all the votes. And then the votes went down when he left office. So fuck out of here. So anyway, what does all the math tell us, right? Again, the election will not hold up against a forensic recount. This is why public perception needs to be kept on the Democratic win. Even going so far as to announce and proceed with post-electoral ceremonies in the face of legal reply. And this is done. So this is done because in the event of a found fraud, the threat of public violence will outweigh the presidential legitimacy. You can't have people riding in the streets and have us look like a fucking third world country due to an overturned vote by, and I'm doing quote fingers, the people. Make no mistake, this was not legit. You can say whatever fuck you want to, but argue with the math. Don't argue with me. Go talk to the people at Edison Research. Go talk to the people that do the statistics. Go talk to Tyler Industries that do the ballot software. Go talk to the chairwoman of Michigan, who actually came out and said that they fucked up. Go talk to them. Talk to me about it. I'm just presenting what the facts are. You want to argue with the improbability of doing this? Go argue with math. Because that's math. You do this on a table napkin. You do this on a piece of paper. This is math. So again, niggas don't give a fuck about this shit. In fact, every time I had a conversation with somebody, I didn't really get into the political discourse because I already know where niggas go. They go straight to emotions. They don't give a fuck about, again, they don't give a fuck about this shit. They don't. They just want to talk about it. So I'm just going to repeat, the election will not hold up against a forensic recount, and it won't happen. The victory is already done. Everything they're saying in the media on some let it go shit, I mean, they're kind of right because, again, if if in the event it is overturned, it's a wrap. There's going to be violence every fucking where. So again, illegitimate. The votes just by the math don't work out. Biden did not get the amount of votes he needed to win. Period. Because the math does not work out in his favor. So, not to mention, let's go through all of the video evidence. Video evidence. This is the video evidence of in plain sight corruption, like people throwing ballots away because of Sharpie markers and shit. I mean, and this isn't like hearsay. At first it was hearsay until the videos started coming out. When the videos came out, then it was like, oh, that was a mistake. You see what I'm saying? It's all hearsay until the video comes out, and then it's a mistake. But here's the thing. If it's a mistake, that warrants investigation. That's the problem. So anyway, the win is going to stand because you can't have the United States falling into third world country status. No one will trust us. No one will do business with us. The dollar will fall and we'll go broke. So you can't do that. This election hosted a record number of statistical improbabilities. Matter of fact, this election hosted a record number of statistical improbabilities of statistical improbabilities. So this is like on some Inception shit, because more than one statistical improbability is enough to raise your eyebrows, but a number of them, that's impossible. And more so, a number of similar consistent statistical improbabilities. Consistencies are the most rare mathematical circumstances in opposing probability. Consistency is actually the enemy of probability. So mathematically, it just doesn't work out. So anyway, this fucking high number or record number of statistical improbabilities is just as likely as a tornado rolling through a junkyard of an urban city and assembling a fully functional airliner right before it dissipates. That's how likely it is. I mean, literally, I'm not even being hyperbolic. The mathematical probability of this high number of statistical improbabilities happening is the same as a tornado coming into an urban city where tornadoes don't even go, first of all, where tornadoes don't even go. And then that tornado rolls through a junkyard and puts together a fucking jumbo jet, operational. You could get it in and fly it. That's how fucking mathematically impossible this is. By the math, by the numbers. So the thing is, it's nonsensical. It's just like how people who enjoy freedom don't care enough about it to defend it. And if that's the case, if that's really the case, if you think that the freedom you enjoy isn't worth defending, then why the fuck are you here? Why live here? Oh, wait. I know the answer I'm gonna get. For the money. You're just doing you and you're getting your money. Okay, cool. You're making all your personal decisions. Without freedom, you have no fucking money or no personal decisions. You do understand that, right? All of the people that's on they fucking me shit. All the people that's on that I'm successful in America shit. These people. If you don't want your freedom, then that means you want somebody else in charge of your life and your livelihood. For the sake of what? Racism spite? You want to know what's more oppressive than racism in a free country? This is 5 seconds. Jeopardy music. Doon, 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 doon. Racism in a non-free country. You can't say shit. And if you do, you disappear. And it doesn't mean you necessarily die. It just means you disappear. You could be in prison, wherever. It doesn't matter. But you're not going to be on the streets talking about how unfair shit is. You niggas don't understand this. This is funny. And you know what's really funny? There's a lot of military dudes in this space that fucking went to war for the country, and they seem to not understand this. So either I'm thinking these niggas was jugheads who just got handed a rifle and told go shoot some people, or they really don't fucking understand. Or they really that dumb. They went to the military for a check or something. I don't fucking know. Because there's no fucking way, if you care about freedom, you understand how society and politics and freedom works, that you really on team welfare. That makes no fucking sense. That's weird. As the young dude would say on Jessica's stream. Weird. That's weird. So none of this shit requires psychic intuition or mysticism or any of that shit. All you got to do is apply some math. All you got to do is see what's going on. All you got to do to see what's going on is just follow the fucking money. It's a really old phrase in economics where if there's a problem that doesn't seem clear on the surface, the easiest way to solve it is to just follow the money. So men in America, especially black men, have been following their feelings and bitches. That's the long and short of it. This is really where we at. This election really let me know where niggas is at. Long before this election even happened, I said that black men would rather die than part with the pussy that's in a burning house. And I got my proof. I got my proof. A lot of black men go to BLM rallies and shit, Black Lives Matter rallies. And a lot of them know that it's been co-opted by feminism because they come here and talk about it. In fact, they talk about it on the news and fucking mainstream even. Men that are like astute, they talk about how Black Lives Matter has been, co-opted by feminism. But you know what you're gonna see when you go to a Black Lives Matter rally? A lot of niggas. You wanna know why they go there? And you can do this for yourself because BLM rallies are never gonna stop. They go there for free welfare pussy in the form of race guilty bitches who are fake sensitive to the black plight. Yeah. You want proof? It's easy. If you're a black man and you identify as heterosexual, go to your next BLM meeting or rally and see for yourself. If you are really studious, you can go ahead and partake in all of the race guilt pussy you can stand. Dead ass. That's all you got to do. Just go. And you will see exactly what the fuck I'm saying. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Just go. Just go. You can get all the race guilt pussy you want. This is the fuck niggas is about. So anyone who was okay with like their freedom being usurped, because that's what's happening. This shit isn't about, this shit isn't even about candidates. It's about your freedom being usurped. Any reason you have to excuse this shit just means that you don't care about the shit you're talking about. You can make all the videos you want. You indoctrinated just like everybody else. Useful idiots. The thing is, basically feminism is just using racism as the string that controls you. You're a fucking puppet. That's all you are. So, also as an aside, what I'm saying is actually, now I'm not saying this to be mean. What I'm saying really isn't for foreign people. I know a lot of y'all cool and shit, but this really ain't your fight. Because at the end of the day, if shit really hit the fan, you're not on the team anyway. Y'all already got a team. So I'm not being offensive intentionally about it, but if it's offensive, then that's just the objective reality of the situation. Y'all already got a team. So if shit hit the fan, you niggas is not, y'all not finna come to the aid. Y'all just gonna take what's here. Cause I mean, you're supposed to, I guess. So that's just what it is. We just had a third world country election if nobody really looked around and saw this, right? This is a third world country election. But then again, that's where we headed. Like, look around. This was a third world country election. You remember how we used to make fun of all these other countries and they corrupted ass elections and laugh at them? Point and laugh at them niggas like, ha! They ain't got their shit together. They got a dude over there just yanking elections. That's us. And you know who looking at us? Everybody else. Everybody else. We just had a third world country election where we laughing at everybody else and everybody looking at us laughing at us now. We the dumbasses. And all niggas can do is fall back on white supremacy and racism. Trump card. Dumbass niggas. Now, as for what's going on with the legal challenges, again, I don't think anything's going to come of it. It's too late in the game, and there's too much money and favors being exchanged right now, because at this point, there is no exit plan for this. Once you commit to fraud at this level, you all in. You all in. You don't care how much money got to be spent, what kind of favors have to be exchanged. You all the fuck in. You want to know why? Because the consequences are too fucking severe at this point. Again, the consequences are prison and capital punishment. That is it. That's all that's left. So the people involved, they have nothing to lose. This is it. There is no go back. There's no go back. There are no take backsies. So yeah, this shit's gonna blow over. So I mean, unless people actually become actually politically astute, we're gonna settle into a complete welfare state. So this whole shit is gonna blow over in the next few months, along with Chad 19 and the rest of it, because the victor got the victory, and now this shit is gonna slowly go the fuck away. So the only solution to this shit is, by the next term, voting needs to be validated via proof of citizenship and residence, and it needs to be verified and secured via some type of blockchain ledger to prevent corruption. Voting should be treated with the same level of security as entering a government facility. It's the only way to keep this shit from happening again. I don't even know why it wasn't in the first place. I mean, if voting is supposed to be restricted to like the people who are responsible for the freedom of the country, then why the fuck is it so haphazard where anybody can vote? Anybody. In fact, I got seven fucking mail-in ballots on my counter. I could have filled out all 7 of them motherfuckers, put different addresses on the return slips, and voted 7 fucking times. Who's gonna know? In fact, I got 2 from a husband and wife that used to live in this house 7 years ago. You wanna know why? I looked up their fucking names. They used to live in this house 7 years ago. 7 fucking years ago. But they got ballots sent to my house. So again, post office names and addresses are just in the system and shit. I get that. That's fine. But I could have filled those ballots out and sent them back. Because that's how easy it is. Because here's the thing. Has anybody voted before? All you got to do is, when you register, you go in and you tell them your name. You don't even got to give them your ID. You just tell them your name. You tell them your name. They look your name up to see if you're registered, and then you go vote. They don't know who you voted for. They just know you voted. And then for the mail-in shit, all you got to do is send it in. It just needs an address and a name and a signature. So for people that, let's just say you write with your right hand, all you got to do is sign with your left hand, or have your child sign it. Doesn't matter. Just put a fucking signature there that's supposed to be that person's signature. Send a fucking ballot in. Boom, it's done. It's really, really easy. And this actually can be done and does happen. It happens all the time. It's not like this is the only election where this shit happened. I'm just saying that in order to prevent this shit from happening again, you verify people. The same way people have to enter a secure building is the same way you do fucking elections. In fact, what should happen is, if you're going to do any type of mail-in balloting, you should have to go to an office wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you are. You should have to go into an office wherever you are, register, and send that fucking mail-in from that office. Because again, your vote is anonymous. There's really easy ways to solve this shit. This shit is easy. It's too easy to solve it. Too easy. And guess who was saying all of this shit that I'm saying right now? Common sense, right? Team Red. So this is about welfare. So the solution, again, is to just verify voters. The solution should satisfy both sides, because here's the thing. The side for the welfare shouldn't have an issue, since they overwhelmingly voted via technology anyway. They overwhelmingly voted via mail-in and absentee. So they shouldn't have a problem with this. They had to verify citizenship and residence via early voting, mail-in and absentee voting. So not to mention registration. So I don't see why they'd have a problem with this. This should be an easy fix. Blockchain voting. Nobody can corrupt the ledger. So they already on board with further securing the vote, because they're already voting that way anyway, supposedly. Now, the people who are not team welfare, they have to check in at the front door anyway, because the anti-welfare people, they overwhelmingly vote in person. So for them, it's a matter of an ID scan. So that's a win-win for everybody. The only thing that will be left out is bullshit. No more absentee voting from non-registered people. No more absentee voting from people who can't validate addresses and all. If you're dead, your vote won't count. Real simple. So welfare should have been the biggest loser, which is more than just bitches. You know, without money going into the welfare pot, productivity, which is a lot of what we talk about, takes center stage. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. Without money going into the welfare coffers, productivity takes center stage. We already saw men abandoning welfare-fueled areas of economics and even literal areas in favor of like trades and trucking and all the rest of it. Now, these same safe haven fields of work that men left to go into, they left college, they left the traditional college going debt plan to hit the trades and all the rest of it. Those areas are no longer safe. You see how this shit works? Like, people think they won. You didn't win. Lots of emphasis will be placed on, people's contact with women in the workplace once Chad 19 magically disappears in a few months and everybody is forced back into the office. Because here's the thing. Bitches need men in the office in order to keep the boot on your goddamn neck. So remember all the good things that was like, not the good things, but one of the things that was a result of Chad 19 is businesses found out that they were way more productive by letting people work from home. And yeah, this will affect me. I'm fine. I mean, my job is still fine. If I have to lose a job, it's cool. It'll just slow my plan to leave down by a few years. But the thing is, working from home was actually more productive than being in an office. And it was proven this year. But here's the thing. Women need men to be in the office so that they can keep that fucking boot on your neck through these feminist ass laws. So remember earlier this month when Black people finally figured out that ignore rape was a thing? Remember that shit? Ignore rape is a thing. You can't ignore bitches no more. Can't ignore them, because then they tell on you and say you're intentionally ignoring them, and then you lose your job. So because of things like that, they're going to force men back into the office. It's really about forcing men back into the office. And they force men back into the office, so you have to deal with these hoes so they can have that leverage on you. See what I mean by leverage and power? If you have to go to the office and deal with these bitches and HR and all the rest of it, then they get to keep that Me Too shit on your head. See how this shit works? Also, HR departments are overwhelmingly female. You know what suffered during Chad 19? HR departments. You know what replaced HR departments? Software like ADP, Workday, and a bunch of other Intuit. What's Intuit's offering for fucking ERP? I forget, but you got all of these. Oh, Salesforce. All of these HR department replacing software suites replaced HR departments this year because of Chad 19. Okay? So bitches need you back into the office because it serves two purposes. They get their welfare jobs back, which is HR jobs, by the way. HR is unnecessary if everybody's working from home. How you gonna catch a case? How you gonna catch a fucking harassment case at home? Exactly. So they need you to come back to the office so they can have that leverage on your ass, and so you can't ignore them, so they can get those lofty executive seats. See how this shit works? And niggas just voted for that because racism. Dumbass niggas. So your taxes are going to be raised to support welfare. You want to know why? Because the illusion of real estate stability will be maintained by this as well. But that bubble is going to burst. Yeah, I already prepared for it. That bubble gonna burst because it's a bubble. Just like crypto is gonna pop at the end of the year too, just like last year and just like the year before, if niggas is not noticing that pattern as well. After Chad 19, we're gonna see a resurgence in economics because all the fuck shit that was caused by the welfare party that shut down the government will revitalize those industries with welfare money, solving a problem that they created in the first fucking place. You see what I'm saying? But whatever. I'm gonna let everybody get back to their regularly scheduled manosphere programming. Or maybe I'll do an experiment and wait a few minutes to see if anybody has an argument outside of emotionalism and racism that makes any fucking logical sense with math. If you can't give me any fucking math, I want to hear that shit. If not, then I'll just go ahead and check y'all later. Because that's where the fuck we at. Anybody got an argument with some math? No? Nobody? All right, let me see. I'll do 9:35 and then get up out of here. First person come up here on some emotional shit, we just gonna shut down because I already know what's coming. If you ain't got no fucking math to back up what you talking about, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Nobody? J Arts, ignore rape is when, so you remember when Mike Pence started like ignoring bitches at the office? And he was like, just stay away from bitches, don't be by yourself with them and all the rest of it. So feminism came up with some loopholes around that towards the end of this year. Matter of fact, last month, where if you are purposely ignoring women in the office, that is a form of discrimination, and they can sue you. Well, they can sue the company you work for. So if they catch men in the office ignoring bitches, they just fire you. So that's how you lose your job. That's ignore rape. So there you have it. You can replay that if you want to, but I mean, I'll just repeat it. You can't ignore women in the office because it's discrimination and you'll lose your job. And now that men are running to the trades, they're trying to get women into the trades using welfare money and more welfare laws. And once bitches get in the trades, they're going to do the same thing. You can't ignore bitches and you have to train them. If you don't train them, you lose your job. And there's always going to be men willing to train them because that's where we at. At the end of the day, all these niggas in this space is literally about pussy. They don't care about nothing but pussy. I mean, that's really where we at. I don't give a fuck about what none of these niggas be talking about no more because this is just math. I'm not even doing anything difficult. I mean, I just went and grabbed a bunch of research. I researched a bunch of shit that was happening, but all I did was put math to the research. All I did was apply numbers to the research. And again, if we look back in time and look at how welfare worked, we have a consensus fucking agreement throughout the entirety of the nation that welfare destroyed the family using math. But math and statistics, but we can't agree on the same math and statistics on this shit. Because niggas wanted their welfare and the hoes. Because that's what they think they think this gonna equate the hoes. Look at the Black Lives Matter shit. Look at all them niggas going out to get that white guilt pussy. That's all they do. Go for the white guilt pussy. Go to a Black Lives Matter. Oh man, them bitches be on there. Oh my God, you guys get treated so unfairly. Yeah, we do. Can I fuck? So fucking stupid. All right, 2 more minutes. That is a long ass 5 minutes. God damn. The longest 5 minutes ever. All right, fuck it. I mean, we're all good. I don't really think I need to go any further with this shit. I mean, there's other streams up tonight. If you go listen to them, all the niggas gonna be talking about us from the emotional point of view. They're gonna talk about like historic racism and all this other bullshit, but they're not talking about no math. They're not talking about what the fuck happened. They're not talking about what's going to happen. They're not talking about how that welfare gonna affect their ass in the future. They're not talking about none of that shit. All these niggas care about is getting cut a check, UBI, all this other stupid ass shit. Niggas is finished out here. And the foreigners are going to take your place. Good luck, niggas. All right, you got what, a minute. I'll wait till your mics fix up.
All right, you can hear me, Zero?
I can hear you now.
All right, man. Oh, I'm not coming in to be the opposition. I came a little bit late, so I did a panel with Max City Limits. You probably never heard of them, about the same issue. And I was dead looking at Michigan, bro. And my thing is, I believe Trump was he had about over 130,000, and they closed the polls. And next thing you know, and I was up till 4 a.m. And next thing you know, I go to sleep, wake up 3 hours, and then Biden jumps ahead. So I am curious to know, especially after they supposedly said the polls were closed. I am curious, like it something stinks, bro. And I'm over there on different panels, different people live stream. Everybody saying that June, everybody predicted that Trump was going to lose, and I was like, how could you predict that in June with the number saying he was going to lose? That's kind of confusing to me. Would you be able to break that down? How people could say in June he was going to lose?
I don't think nobody's saying that in June. Everybody was the welfare team was afraid he was going to win the whole time. Nobody thought that Trump was going to lose up until like yesterday. No one thought Trump was going to lose up until the vote started becoming skewed as shit. No one thought he was going to lose.
Well, I don't want to put his name out there, but BGS doing a live right now, and he
I don't
was
even think about that. He was one of the people thinking he was going to win earlier this year too.
Everybody thought so you know you are so also you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, everybody doing the same shit. Like everybody, like, okay, so hindsight is 2020. So right now, everybody is talking about how COVID was the problem or whatever his performance during COVID. That's all bullshit. They're saying that now. They're saying that now.
Okay.
Before all of this shit happened, months ago, no one was talking about that shit. They weren't talking about he's going to lose because of fucking. They actually was afraid he was going to win because they had nobody to run against him. Biden was not a viable candidate. I don't know if people was paying attention, but months ago, everybody was talking about how the Dems didn't have a viable candidate. And again, fuck the candidates because neither one of them cares about you. It's just the fact. All right, let me put it this way. Last month, niggas was pulling up their welfare plans. Talking about this is what you're gonna do for black people. Why the fuck are you focused on what they're gonna do for black people? They don't care about you.
Right.
But see, that right there should have let you know where niggas was. They don't care about this shit. They care about welfare. That like niggas just want to get that money and do nothing with it. And it's funny because we're supposed to be the politically astute, the intellectual people, and all these motherfuckers is flip-flopping and changing their goddamn opinions with the wind over this entire year. Like I said, everybody was afraid that he was going to win earlier this year. Nobody changed their tune until it got to the fucking election and shit started changing. That's when. I told you, man, these niggas, just go back and listen to them. If they took their shit down, then they took their shit down. But that's what the fuck they've been saying this whole year.
I feel like it's been a lot of like flip-flopping going on, and my thing is that people saying, well, what evidence is he gonna go back off of? But I'm like, if you sitting over here breaking down the numbers, and I'm hearing everything from the mail-in ballot saying that he sent down special ballots supposed to be watermarked, and them shits got thrown out. So my thing
none of that matters. All you have to do is look at the statistical improbabilities and the number of statistical improbabilities that went on this entire time. Just going by like just numerical impossibilities of like fucking 90% voter turnout. No. Just that alone, especially 90% voter turnout in like 30 fucking states. No. That doesn't happen ever.
Yeah,
and no one's going to argue that Biden is more popular than Obama. That's fucking stupid.
And my thing is, it showed itself because remember in Arizona they called it for Biden at 83%. So my thing is, if y'all called it for him there, and Trump was gaining on him for a little bit, how the hell did y'all wait for Pennsylvania and Georgia all the way up to like 98%? Like, are you? And I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was like, this nigga flipped this state blue.
Yeah, that was a trickle. That was a slow trickle. That was the
I was like, wow. I'm like, and my county was the county supposedly was the one who flipped it, Clayton County.
yeah. Like I said, here's what's not gonna happen. They're not gonna do a forensic recount. It's not gonna happen. So the statistical anomalies alone warrant a forensic recount. And again, I know people don't know what a forensic recount means. Like, there's going to be feds that come in and do the recount, and they go over everything. And again, the ramifications of a forensic recount means that motherfuckers are going to go to jail. And not only are motherfuckers going to go to jail if it's too severe, I mean, the capital T word, people are going to capital punishment. Because once you do some shit like that, that's under that's US code. You breaking the Constitution, you betraying the United States, it's a wrap for your ass. So this isn't going to go anywhere. All I wanted to do was just point out the fact that everybody that is approaching this from a you just mad that Trump lost and all this shit and these niggas want all that welfare. These same people are the same people that's been talking about all of this fucking black men do better community bullshit for all these years. And at the end of the day, they all want welfare and pussy. That's it. So fuck these niggas is what I'm saying, basically. So, I mean, history ain't gonna change shit, and ain't nothing gonna change the outcome of this election because they can't. At this point, if they change the outcome of this election, even under a forensic investigation, it is going to be a fucking riot all over the United States.
Yeah.
All over the United States. Because they don't give a fuck. You take away people welfare money and see what happens. So anyway, man, that's pretty much it.
I feel you on that one. And like I said, that stimulus package, they might as well continue to let that be the little welfare money, because I'm like, motherfuckers ain't giving their jobs back. As a matter of fact, automation, and I keep saying this, is going to fucking accelerate even faster. So my thing is that you niggas think y'all finna get these handouts, I'm like, nah, that money's gone for that. Only thing you
no, they'll get their money. They will get their money.
Well,
that welfare is going to happen.
Well, they'll just get that stimulus. Well, I guess they act as a welfare.
They're going to get more than that. They're going to get stimulus, UBI, free houses, all of that shit. But you got to understand, that shit is going to be women-centric. It's not going to be man-centric. It's going to be women-centric. This is just more communism, more feminism, more socialism. That's all it is. They're all synonyms. This is just more bitch welfare, and men that think they're going to benefit from it won't. And the men that don't benefit from it, all they're going to do is defend the bitches and say, we have to take care of them anyway.
Boy, this gonna be some shit, man. God damn.
So anyway, man, I'm finna get the fuck up out of here.
All right, appreciate it, man.
I kind of figured these niggas weren't finna argue math. So, all right, I'll talk to y'all later.